Some outlets asked whether Xi and Putin used their Beijing meeting to coordinate approaches on the Iran conflict days after President Trump's trip, a possibility raised by timing and their closely aligned public statements.
The world today is not peaceful, with unilateralism and humanism causing serious harm, and the world facing the danger of regressing to the law of the jungle. I propose the concept of building a community with a shared future for mankind in 4 global initiatives, which have received widespread support from the international community, including Russia. Even against a backdrop of unfavorable external factors, our interaction and economic cooperation continue to show strong growth. Trade turnover has increased more than 30-fold over the past quarter of a century. For several years running, it has consistently exceeded the $200 billion mark. The driving force behind economic cooperation is Russian-Chinese collaboration in the energy sector. Against the backdrop of the crisis in the Middle East, Russia continues to maintain its role as a reliable supplier of resources.
Xi's comments on the Middle East during the session with Putin drew attention from analysts, who said his language was crafted to position China as a potential mediator in regional tensions. Reports noted that certain Tehran-aligned figures, including Mujtaba, appeared to gain diplomatic momentum in the days following Trump's departure from China, a development commentators linked to shifting regional calculations. With a brittle ceasefire reportedly holding between Iran and the United States, Tehran's allied networks discussed the evolving situation and possible next steps, according to observers tracking the talks. On May 20th, Xi Jinping publicly urged an end to all hostilities in the Middle East, calling for de-escalation to prevent further humanitarian and regional fallout. Xi added that sustainable peace in the Middle East would ease pressure on the global economy, a point picked up by outlets such as RT that tied security to market stability. Those remarks were made during Xi's bilateral meeting with Vladimir Putin in Beijing on May 20th, a setting that lent diplomatic weight to the appeal. Energy markets have reacted sharply, with oil prices jumping amid competing threats to close the Strait of Hormuz tied to the Iran-US standoff, even as analysts caution that Beijing's public rhetoric does not prove formal military coordination with Moscow. The Chinese president said, and I quote, "I have put forward 4 propositions on safeguarding and promoting peace and stability in the Middle East to further build international consensus and help de-escalate the situation, end hostilities, and promote peace," unquote. Vladimir Putin is in Beijing for a 2-day official visit at Xi Jinping's invitation, arriving just days after US President Trump's trip and drawing attention to Beijing's tightly packed diplomatic calendar. The visit coincides with the 25th anniversary of the Russia-China Treaty, a milestone both capitals have highlighted to underscore the longevity and strategic depth of their relationship. Putin is accompanied by a high-level delegation that includes senior Kremlin officials, signaling Moscow's political commitment to elevating the talks. The delegation also features ministers, leaders of major Russian companies, and the head of Russia's space agency, reflecting an agenda that spans politics, business, and technology. Officials said the agenda will likely cover trade, energy cooperation, security ties, investment projects, and coordination on global affairs, aiming to convert political goodwill into concrete cooperation. Around 40 bilateral documents are expected to be signed during the visit, a volume of agreements intended to demonstrate tangible progress across multiple sectors. In public remarks, Putin framed Russia and China as stabilizing forces in international politics, language designed to portray the partnership as constructive even as analysts stress implementation challenges amid sanctions and competing power dynamics.
Dear President Putin, friend from the press, hello everyone. I am very pleased to meet with President Putin. This is President Putin's 25th visit to China, which fully reflects the high level and special nature of China-Russia relations. I extend a warm welcome to President Putin and all Russian colleagues and friends. Just now, I had an in-depth, friendly, and fruitful discussion with President Putin, where we conducted strategic communication on a series of major issues. We jointly signed a joint statement on further strengthening comprehensive strategic cooperation and deepening good neighborly friendship and cooperation between the 2 countries. We witnessed the signing of several important bilateral cooperation documents. The 2 countries will also issue a joint statement on advocating for a multipolar world and new international relations. This year marks the 30th anniversary of the establishment of the China-Russia Strategic Partnership. Over the past 30 years, China-Russia relations have weathered storms and progressed with the times, continuously enhancing their positioning to reach the historical highest level of a comprehensive strategic partnership in the new era. It sets an example of a new type of major country relationship, This year also marks the 25th anniversary of the signing of the China-Russia Treaty of Good Neighborliness and Friendly Cooperation. Over the years, the two countries have always adhered to the principles established by this treaty of non-alignment, non-confrontation, and not targeting third parties, insisting on mutual respect and equal treatment. Key measurement, friends. Under the joint strategic guidance of President Putin and myself, China-Russia relations have reached a new starting point. Both sides should follow the trend of peace, development, cooperation, and win-win outcomes to promote the realization of higher quality development in China-Russia relations. First, strengthen higher quality political mutual trust and firmly support each other's strategic support. Political mutual trust is a most distinctive feature of China-Russia relations and the purpose and fundamental principle of the China-Russia Treaty of Good Neighborliness and Friendly Cooperation. President Putin and I have jointly decided to continue to consolidate the political mutual trust foundation between the two countries. Second, empower higher quality mutually beneficial cooperation and jointly promote each other's development and revitalization. In recent years, cooperation in various fields between China and Russia has made great strides forward, achieving many positive results. The bilateral trade volume has exceeded $200 billion for 3 consecutive years. In the current complex external situation, the bilateral trade volume in the first 4 months of this year increased by nearly 20%. Both sides should seize the opportunity to deepen the alignment of China's 15th five-year plan with Russia's development strategy before 2030, effectively utilizing the role of cooperation in energy resources, connectivity, and other areas as stabilizers, accelerating the cultivation and growth of new momentum in digital economy, artificial intelligence, and technological innovation cooperation, and promoting the upgrading of mutually beneficial cooperation in various fields to serve the development and revitalization of both countries, promote higher quality people-to-people connectivity, and lay the foundation for generations of friendship between the two countries. With the high-level development of China-Russia relations, people-to-people exchanges between the two countries have become increasingly close, with exchanges and cooperation in education, culture, tourism, and sports flourishing. The youth public opinion support for China-Russia friendship is becoming more solid, and the bond between the people is getting tighter. President Putin and I had decided to hold the 10th National Theme Year, the China-Russia Education Year, in the next 2 years. Later, we will jointly attend the opening ceremony of the Education Year. Both sides should take the Education Year as an opportunity to continuously expand the scale of two-way study abroad, deepen exchanges and cooperation between universities and research platforms, and achieve more visible results in cultivating outstanding talents in joint scientific research, creating more favorable conditions for the continuous development of China-Russia relations. Fourth, carry out higher quality international cooperation to reform and improve global governance. The world today is not peaceful, with unilateralism and hegemonism causing serious harm, and the world facing the danger of regressing to the law of the jungle. I propose a concept of building community with a shared future for mankind in 4 global initiatives, which have received widespread support from the international community, including Russia. Oppose all unilateral bullying and actions that turn back the wheel of history, especially oppose all provocative actions that deny the victory of World War II and revive fascism and militarism, and jointly promote the construction of a more just and reasonable global governance system. The great cause of China-Russia friendship, in line with the historical trend and the trend of the times, will surely move forward with determination and continue to write new and wonderful chapters. Thank you all, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Xi Jinping, my dear friend. It is fitting to quote a Chinese proverb here. As far as we know, there's a saying in China that goes, "One day apart seems 3 autumns past." We are truly delighted to see you. We keep in constant contact, both personally and through our aides in the government. I warmly recall how, last year, we had the opportunity here to take part together in the celebrations marking the 80th anniversary of victory in the Second World War. 25 years ago, our country signed a treaty of good neighborliness and friendly cooperation, a fundamental intergovernmental document that serves as a basis for the development of cooperation in all areas and remains fully relevant today. Today, our relations have reached an unprecedentedly high level, serving as a model of a truly comprehensive partnership and strategic cooperation. It is no coincidence that our delegation includes a large part of the government of the Russian Federation, business leaders, and representatives of civil society and educational organizations. Now, as a matter of course, we will begin our work with the chairman by discussing key issues of bilateral cooperation, primarily in the economic sphere. We will then continue the talks with the delegations, as the chairman has just proposed. Even against a backdrop of unfavorable external factors, our interaction and economic cooperation continue to show strong growth. Trade turnover has increased more than 30-fold over the past quarter of a century. For several years running, it has consistently exceeded the $200 billion mark. The driving force behind economic cooperation is Russian-Chinese collaboration in the energy sector. Against the backdrop of the crisis in the Middle East, Russia continues to maintain its role as a reliable supplier of resources. China is a responsible consumer of these resources. Among the priorities are major joint ventures in industry, agriculture, transport, and, of course, high technology. Cultural ties are developing no less actively. Following the successful years of culture, the years of cooperation in the field of education are next in line. This is already the 10th reciprocal interstate thematic project, which we are also launching together today. An additional stimulus for increasing people-to-people contacts has been the introduction, on your initiative, dear friend, of a reciprocal visa-free regime for the citizens of our countries. We will certainly continue this practice. Our cooperation on foreign policy matters is one of the key stabilizing factors on the international stage. A complex process is underway to shape a polycentric world based on a balance of interests among all its participants. Together with our Chinese friends, we uphold cultural and civilizational diversity and respect for the sovereign development of states, and strive to build a more just and democratic world order. In the current tense situation on the international stage, our close ties are particularly in demand. We are stepping up coordination within the UN, BRICS, the G20 and other forums. We will continue our active engagement with the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. I am confident that together we will mark the 25th anniversary of the SCO this year in a fitting manner. It will become an excellent example of the fair resolution of problems and the promotion of integration across our vast shared region. We fully support the activities of the Chinese chairmanship of the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Forum this year. For my part, I would like to confirm my readiness to take part in the summit of this format in Shenzhen this November. And, of course, we invite you, dear friend, to visit the Russian Federation next year. Thank you.